बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा कुंज गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी शोदानंद ब्रज जन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जनवल्लभ गिरिवर का ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण। Thank you for assembling today. So we will try to share a few thoughts, a few pastimes from Ramayana, and we will particularly speak from Valmiki Ramayana because there are so many versions of Ramayana, but the original is Valmiki Ramayana. Later on, some other versions came. There are some authentic versions also that came about later on. In the northern part of India, the southern part of India, there are different versions that came. Particularly in the northern part of India, there is one version of Ramayana that is very famous. Anybody can tell me which one? Ramcharitmanas. And who's the author of that? Yeah, Tulsidas ji. He's the author of that. It's very popular in the northern part of India more than the southern part. There's also one that came from Tamil Nadu, a very beautiful version of Ramayana. Anybody knows which one that is? Yeah, someone said that. Yeah, Kamba Ramayana, right, by Kamba Rishi. So this Sri Rangam temple in Tamil Nadu. That's the very beautiful Sri Rangam temple. So if you go to Sri Rangam, uh, as you enter the temple, there is a Narasimha deity. Hmm. So it is said that Kamban, the name of this saint who wrote Ramayana, um, Valmiki was present at the time of Sri Ram. Okay, Kamban was not present at the time of Sri Ram. So how do we know? How does he really know what happened at the time of the pastimes of Lord Ram? So he was also thinking that how will I know what happened at that particular time? So when Kamban Rishi was writing, he took the permission of Lord Narsimhadev over there, and he said, "With your blessings, I would like to write." So every time he would write, and then he would get a doubt, and then he would pray to Lord Ram, and then he would start writing that, yeah, this is how it is. And then he would look at Lord Narsimha. And Lord Narsimha's deity, he would nod his head and he would say, "You're right." If he does something wrong, if any thought is wrong, Narsimha would say no. And then he would say, right. So by the guidance of Lord Narsimha, uh, Kambana Rishi, he wrote a version of Ramayana, which is very beautiful. So there are some editions over there that Valmiki may not have mentioned, but Kambarishi has mentioned. And Tulsidas ji also has mentioned many editions that Valmiki may not have mentioned. But nonetheless, though there are so many different versions, all of them, it can be Kambarishi, it can be Tulsidas ji, it can be anybody. They all are completely aligned with Valmiki Rishi. And Valmiki, they also consider Valmiki to be the supreme author when it comes to the supreme authority when it comes to Ramayana because he was present there. He was there. He was aware of what happened. So, on this note, before we start with Ram Katha, it's important that we understand a little bit about Valmiki also. So, a little bit about Valmiki, and then we will proceed further. So, Valmiki, before he became Maharishi Valmiki, he had another name. What was his name? Ratnakar. Ratnakar, right? And Ratnakar was doing a very noble job at that time, which was, yeah, he was a dacoit, right? He was a very in fact, he was initially a hunter, and because of financial issues, there was a recession, maybe I don't know. So he from hunting, he moved on to becoming a dacoit at that time. Right? Today also many people do that, so we kind of understand. So this was Ratnakar. So at that time, Ratnakar he met Narad Muni. Narad Muni is amazing because you see so many disciples of Narad Muni, all of them glorious, glorious disciples. Who are some of his disciples? Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, then Lord Kapila. Yeah, okay. Mrigari. Right. Then somebody who gave us all the Vedic literatures. Vyasadeva himself, like that. So Narad Muni is such a glorious personality. Unfortunately, our the movie industry whenever they made some movies and they portray Narad Muni, they portray him as some kind of a comedian or something, right? This is their foolishness, unfortunately. And it may be their foolishness, but it's a greater foolishness of all of us citizens who've never read about Narad Muni. And we just accepted whatever's projected in the movies. And we also thought of him as some kind of a comedian. But when we read the Vedic literatures, we truly understand who Narad Muni is. And one of his glorious disciples is Valmiki. So this is Ratnakar. So he met Ratnakar in the forest and he asked, Ratnakar approached Narad Muni also. And he said, take out your money, take out what you have. Narad Muni said, I only have a veena, I don't have anything else. So he said, no, but you look very rich, you look very bright, and you must have something. He said, I have nothing, I have a veena. So he tells him, that I have to take something from you. So that time, Valmiki asks him that, but why are you doing this? What is the purpose of this? Why can't you just live without any of this? So then Ratnakari explains that I have so many problems, family problems. I need to pay EMIs and I have so many things to do. You don't understand, right? So Narad Muni said, look, who are the beneficiaries of all your earnings? He said, I have my wife, my children, they all enjoy this. So he said, very well. So go back home and tell them. He gives him a explanation and a drishya of hellish planets. And he says that you will go particularly to this particular Naraka. But we can reduce your punishment a little bit if your family members can share that. So why don't you go home and ask them? Very similar to what happened to Mrighari. Mm. So he goes, Ratnakar says, yeah, of course, my wife loves me dearly, and I'm going to go and ask her. So he goes and asks his wife that, look, this is the punishment. Will you be able to share share the karma with me? Thank you. So he goes back home and he asks his wife, will you share this karma? Will you also join me in hell along with the children? Children said, "Excuse me, no, no chance. What do you mean? We didn't ask you to go and do this. We didn't ask you to go and kill somebody and all that." They said, "But you're enjoying the money that I'm bringing." He said, "Yeah, that is fun, but we didn't ask you to go and do that." Acha, okay. So there's a little bit of Hindi also. Somebody requires. Okay, so we'll just add. My Hindi is terrible, so we'll do this. I'll speak in English. I've heard of that language. It's a new language, English. So we'll speak in a little bit of my broken Hindi. So pardon me for that, and some English. Okay. So where was I? Hellish planets. Huh. So his family and children said, sorry, boss, not sharing. Ratnakar was shocked. Ratnakar didn't know what to do. तो रत्नाकर वापस आ गए जंगल के अंदर और किनसे मिले नारद मुनि से मिले और नारद मुनि को बताया कि मैंने ऐसे ऐसे बोला बट दे हैव रिफ्यूज्ड सो व्हाट शुड वी डू नाउ सो नारद मुनि ने बोला रत्नाकर को सिंपली फॉलो व्हाट आई टेल यू मैं जो कहूं वही करो तो ही सेड ओके he said meditate and meditate and meditate on Lord Ram. You don't have to do anything else. Simply chant Ram, 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 Ram. No complicated mantra. No difficult name also. Sometimes Krishna may be difficult to pronounce for somebody who doesn't know how to pronounce. Like, the Japanese, we have devotees in Japanese. Japanese devotees, they, uh, R pronunciation, they can't do it. So they say L. Krishna. They say Krishna, Krishna. But Krishna accepts that also, like that. So, um, even this very easy name, Ramanam, Ratnakar was unable to chant that. So, So what do we understand? अगर आपको भगवान का नाम जप करना है, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू डू इट अगर भगवान का परमिशन नहीं है तो नहीं कर पाएंगे, अगर नो मैटर हाउ सिंपल इट इज. सो वी ऑल नीड टू नो दैट वी आर ऑल डूइंग कीर्तन, इट इज बिकॉज ही इज अलाउइंग अस टू डू कीर्तन, ही इज अलाउइंग अस टू चैंट. सो रत्नाकर, इतने पाप किए रत्नाकर ने कि उनके मुंह से राम नाम नहीं निकला. राम, सो नारद मुनि इज टेलिंग राम राम राम, ही इज नॉट एबल टू प्रोनाउंस. तो नारद मुनि ने कहा संस्कृत में अम, पेड़ को मरा भी कहते हैं, जैसे कन्नड़ा में मरा, दೊಡ್ಡ ಮರ ಆಲದ ಮರ we say, right? So mara means tree also in Sanskrit. So जंगल में थे, तो नारद मुनि ने बोला वो क्या है, अम, रत्नाकर ने बोला कि मरा, तो उन्होंने बोला मरा मरा चैंट करो. तो बैठ के मेडिटेशन में बैठे और पेड़ को देखा और मरा 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 हो गया, है ना. So that's how he started chanting Ram Ram Ram. So by the mercy of Narad Muni, Guru के आशीर्वाद से he got the taste of Ram Naam. और अभी वो रुक नहीं पाए. He continued to chant Ram 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 Ram, and he continued to chant so much that there was a ant hill that was built around his body. Ant hill को क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में? चींटी का घर, है ना. So that was around his entire body. संस्कृत में ant hill को वाल्मी बोलते हैं. And because he was born from an ant hill, he was reborn, पुनर्जन्म हुआ ant hill के अंदर से, इसीलिए उनका नाम पड़ा वाल्मीकि. ठीक है, तो रत्नाकर बन गए वाल्मीकि. ओके. तो अम, और सीता देवी, उनका जन्म कहाँ से हुआ? धरती से. ठीक है, तो वाल्मीकि अपने आप को सीता देवी के ब्रदर समझते थे, भाई समझते थे, क्योंकि दोनों दोनों के पेरेंट्स भूमि है, भूमि देवी कंपैरेटिवली. ये भी वाल्मीकि वाल्मी से पैदा हुए, और भूमि देवी भी, सॉरी, सीता देवी भी भूमि से पैदा, है ना, ऐसे. तो वाल्मीकि जी जब वो अम, नारद मुनि से पूछे कि इस पूरे जगत में सर्वोत्तम पुरुष कौन है, सर्वोत्तम पुरुष. तो नारद मुनि ने बोला कि भगवान राम. देयर इज नो वन ग्रेटर देन लॉर्ड राम, ही इज द परफेक्ट ह्यूमन बीइंग. तो वाल्मीकि जी accepted it immediately, and he heard the glories of Lord Ram, and he said wonderful. Okay. And now there is a certain confusion. I'll explain the confusion. And this is the beginning of Ramayana. तो पहले मुझे बताइए कि रामायण में अम, कितने पार्ट्स हैं, कितने डिविजन्स हैं? कितने? 7 कांड, राइट. तो नाम क्या है? बालकांड. सबसे पहले बालकांड, सेकंड अयोध्या कांड, थर्ड सुंदर, ओके. सो बालकांड, Lord Ram, Balak, Balakanda. After that he grew up, Ayodhya, Ayodhya Kanda. अयोध्या के बाद में गए फॉरेस्ट, अरण्य कांड. थर्ड इज अरण्य. और अरण्य सीता देवी का अपहरण हो गया, फिर वो आए कर्नाटका, कर्नाटका में किष्किंधा, तो किष्किंधा कांड. कितने हो गए? 4 हो गए. और किष्किंधा के बाद सुंदरकांड. हाँ, सुंदरकांड. और सुंदरकांड के बाद युद्धकांड. और एंड में उत्तराकांड, उत्तरा. 7. Okay. So this is the different kandas, this is the different levels, and we are going to discuss all 7 today. Okay, it's going to take 7 hours. Okay. 7 hours. So the truth is, अगर हम लोग 7 जन्म भी लेंगे ना, we can't finish Ramayana. That is how amazing Ramayana is. But we will try and complete it as much as possible. But we'll try and complete all seven. We don't worry, not 7 hours. Some of you may be thinking of we'll just quickly escape or something. So don't worry. We'll just talk about a few pastimes from each kanda. So technically we would have finished seven. So when you meet Lord Ram, you can say that on your uh, Ram Navami, we discussed all seven pandas, huh? Like that. All right. So coming back to, तो अभी ये जो 7 कांड है, you should not think of it like this. Okay, it is not step by step. It is a circle. It's a circle. Okay, it begins from the end. Okay, it begins from the end. Why does it begin from the end? Because Valmiki ji, who was completely convinced कि भगवान राम सर्वोत्तम पुरुष है, perfect man. Exactly at this time, somebody came to his ashram. And who had come to his ashram? Sita Devi. And Sita Devi, she was pregnant. And Valmiki Muni said, Sita Devi, why are you here? And she said, अब मैं यहीं पे रहूंगी आपके आश्रम में, because she was sent away from Ayodhya. This is the end, Uttarakhand, right? When Lord Ram had sent her away. So Valmiki Muni, he heard about this and he said, why, why will Sri Ram send you away? Why, how is this happening? And Sita Devi was, she was strong. Sita Devi was strong. She said, he has his own issues. It's okay, no problem. And Valmiki Muni, he said, this is not anybody else's house. This ashram is your house. And generally, when a lady is pregnant, she goes back to her parents' house where her brother is staying. So she said, he said that now you're pregnant and you're not going anywhere else. You've come to your own house. So you be with me. I will take care of you. तो आश्रम था, बहुत सारे लोग थे वहां पे, और they were taking care of Sita Devi. ठीक है? But at this time, Valmiki Muni, he said, I don't think Sri Ram is a perfect man. He said, Sri Ram perfect नहीं है. क्योंकि अगर वो perfect थे, तो how can he do something like this? So he said, he's not perfect. And now he became very confused. If he's not perfect, then who is perfect? And he went into deep meditation. And Lord Brahma himself appeared. और ब्रह्मदेव ने बोला कि why are you confused? वाल्मीकि ने बोला कि अगर राम जी परफेक्ट नहीं है, तो परफेक्ट कौन है? Lord Brahma said, there is nobody else in this entire universe. It is only Sri Ram. There is nobody more perfect than him. So Valmiki was again confused. He said, then if he's perfect, how can he do this to his wife? ऐसे कैसे कर सकते हैं? Then he said, you meet your spiritual master. Your spiritual master will explain. फिर वो मिले नारद मुनि से. और ब्रह्मा जी ने बोला नारद मुनि की सेवा करो. Only by Vaishnava Seva will you be able to understand Narayan. So if you want to understand Narayan, you have to serve your Guru, you have to serve a Vaishnava. So he served Narad Muni. The moment he came, he washed his feet and he offered him some fruits. He did his arati, just like we do Guru Puja, he did his arati. And then he prayed to Narad Muni and he said, please guide me. Tell me about who is perfect. Because if Ram is not perfect, then who is perfect? Again, Narad Muni repeated whatever Lord Brahma said. And he said that it is only Sri Ram and nobody else. And then he starts explaining. He explains all the pastimes of Lord Ram to Valmiki Muni. और Valmiki यहाँ से start होता है रामायण. So after this, he starts writing Ramayana. ठीक है? And now how is Sri Ram still perfect after doing something like this? And was Valmiki really confused? No, Valmiki ji was never confused. He's perfect. He's a perfect saint. How can he be confused? But just like Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita showed confusion for people of Kali Yuga, Valmiki also was aware that in Kali Yuga there will be people who will question Sri Ram. So even before they question, I will question and I will find the answers and I'll write the answers in Ramayana so that all those questions will be answered. But unfortunately, nobody reads Ramayana. And that is why those questions will still lurk around, right? So let's see if we have an answer to that. Let's see if we can, answer is there. Let's see if we can articulate that to everyone. तो सबसे पहले बालकांड तो बालकांड में who are the parents of Lord Ram? Who are the brothers of Sri Ram? Lord Ram, फिर Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrugna. Now, who's the mother of Sri Ram? Kaushalya. Who's the mother of Bharata? Who's the mother of Lakshman and Shatrugna? Sumitra Devi, right? So, Dasharath Maharaj, he had three wives. Actually, he had many wives, but three of them were his prominent wives. ठीक है? और दशरथ महाराज की एक बेटी भी थी. हाँ, सॉरी, ना, हाँ, शांता. शांता, ओके. तो शांता किसी और महाराजा ने दशरथ महाराज से उस बेटी को अडॉप्ट किया था. हाँ, गोद लिया था. तो अभी क्या हुआ कि why am I talking about Shanta? Because she had grown up and she got married to a rishi. And this rishi's name was Rishi Shringa. ऋषि श्रृंग. श्रृंग मतलब जो डियर होता है ना, डियर का जो लंबा हॉर्न होता है, सिंग होता है, तो ऋषि श्रृंग. तो इस ऋषि का एक यहाँ पे एक ग्रोथ था जैसे एक डियर का, हाँ, यूनिकॉर्न टाइप का. तो इसीलिए उनका नाम पड़ा ऋषि श्रृंग. वेरी यूनिक. तो ऋषि श्रृंग. Why am I mentioning Rishi Shringa? Because Dasharath Maharaj did not have any sons. बेटे नहीं थे. So he was worried because he was growing old. Who's going to take care of Ayodhya? तो उन्होंने बुलाया अपने सन इन लॉ ऋषि श्रृंगा, who was a very great ऋषि. तो उनसे बोला कि एक प्लीज परफॉर्म अ यज्ञ so that I can get a son. तो ऋषि श्रृंगा ने एक यज्ञ किया और यज्ञ में ऑफर किया उन्होंने खीर. तो he got a milk kheer, a bowl of kheer. And then he took that kheer, which appeared from the fire, from the yajna. He got that kheer from there. And then he offered it to Dasharath Maharaj. और दशरथ महाराज को बोला कि अपनी किसी एक धर्म पत्नी को you can offer this to them. Or if you want to share it amongst your wives, you can do that. So Dasharath Maharaj, obviously he has to share because he has three wives. Imagine he gives it to one. After that, he's going to have a lot of problems. So he decided that he will share it. तो खीर को उन्होंने डिवाइड किया. Let me see if I get it right. तो 50%, खीर का 50% उन्होंने दिया कौशल्या कौशल्या को. अब बाकी रहा 50%. उस 50% में से 25% उन्होंने दिया सुमित्रा को. और बाकी अभी 25% था. Kaushalya was, Kaikai was waiting, but he did not give that 25% to Kaikai. He divided that 25% further, 12 and a half, 12 and a half. और 12 and a half दिया कैकेयी को, बाकी 12 and a half वापस दिया सुमित्रा को. हाँ, तो अभी इस 50% से all three of them became pregnant. 50% से हमारे भगवान राम, Sri Ram appeared from that. And From Kaikai came Bharat Maharaj, and from Sumitra came Lakshmana and Shatrughna. Hmm. This is how the division happened. Sorry. Shanta was Kaushalya's, but she was born much earlier. She's already married. That's why uh, Dasharath Maharaj was quite old. By the time the children were born. So, Abhi, all the four children were next to each other. पहले भगवान राम, फिर भरत, फिर लक्ष्मण और शत्रुघ्न. भगवान राम और भरत, they were sleeping very peacefully, और ये दोनों रो रहे थे. Loudly they were crying. So they were wondering why are they crying. So वशिष्ठ मुनि वहां पे आए और उन्होंने बोला कि इनका ये ऑर्डर चेंज करो थोड़ा. So then they took Lakshmana and kept him next to Sri Ram. And the moment Lakshmana was next to Sri Ram, he stopped crying. And Shatrughna was crying, and he was kept next to Bharat, and then he stopped crying. So they realized their teams. They, right when they were born, team formation हो गया उनका कि राम जी के साथ लक्ष्मण और भरत के साथ शत्रुघ्न, ऐसे. तो अभी वो बड़े हो गए, and later on, most prominent I think episode was that जब विश्वामित्र मुनि आए, ये अभी थोड़े बड़े हो गए थे. I think they were about 12 years old. 12 years old, and विश्वामित्र मुनि आए वहां पे, and विश्वामित्र मुनि ने कहा कि I will train them. But before that, एक राक्षसी है. राक्षसी का नाम है ताड़का. तो ताड़का का वध करना है. तो प्लीज गिव मी योर टू चिल्ड्रन. And Dasharath Maharaj said, but they're just 12. Abhi balak hai dono. I will come. I will come and kill her. She is nothing. I will come and do it myself. And Vishwamitra said, no, I want them to come. There is a purpose. And Dasharath Maharaj was so attached to, he said, but they're just children. And Vishwamitra, you can never say no to a rishi. And Vishwamitra Muni was also, quite aggressive. So he said, are you saying no to me? Dasharath Maharaj, he said, no, I'm just requesting, but okay, but please take care of them. And they're just boys. Just remember, Rakshasi. Vishwamitra said, don't worry. You don't understand who they are, but I know who they are. So he took both of them. फिर both of them they got their weapons, जैसे सुदर्शन चक्र, ये वो सभी मिल गए भगवान राम को और लक्ष्मण जी को, and they were trained under Vishwamitra, and then they killed this demon called Tadaka. Okay, so this uh, Asuri demoness, she was killed. इसके बाद all this is part of Balakanda. So Balakanda में after that they came, I think they were trained for nearly 2 years under Vishwamitra. Then they go to Janakpuri. And Janakpuri to meet whom? Janaki is waiting there. So Janaki was waiting, and Sri Ram also waits. So Valmiki Muni says that uh, they first go and then they meet. He sees Sita Devi from far away. But in Kamba Rishi, in the Kamba Ramayana, he explains that he has met Sita Devi. The moment they entered Janakpuri, he met Sita Devi. And she was playing with a ball, flower ball, not a rubber ball, flower ball. And they made eye contact. And the moment they made eye contact, this was the first time there was a concept of love at first sight. Uh, they made eye contact with each other, and both of them looked at each other. And whole of Janakpuri also fell in love with both of them because everybody knew what a perfect couple because they thought there's nobody that can match Sita Devi, and everybody thought there can be nobody that can match Sri Ram. But when both of them met, it was an amazing moment, and all the Vasis of Janakpuri were very happy to do that. But they had the whole Swayamvar process to go on. So Swayamvar हो गया, और Swayamvar में Sri Ram, all of you know, he picked up the Shiv Dhanush and he broke the Shiv Dhanush. So this entire episode happened during Balakanda. The Balakanda, they were supposed to get married, and at this particular time, they are a very Sabhya family. भगवान राम ने बोला कि I cannot get married like that because they said you have won it, you know, take the girl and go home. फिर भगवान ने बोला नहीं, this cannot be like this. You have to first send an invitation to Dasharath Maharaj. That was the decency of Sri Ram. So, an invitation, and Janak Maharaj was very happy with that. He said, perfect, perfect son in law. So, they send an invitation, and Dasharath Maharaj was very happy. They also come, and then the whole wedding happens. Abhi, Sita Devi goes back home. And um, Janak Maharaj also has another daughter, and that daughter was given to Lakshmana, the other hero. He was also very handsome. So both of them they come back with young wives, and they're also young, very young at that particular point. Fifth, they come back to Ayodhya. This was the end of Balakand, and now starts Ayodhya. Hmm? So in Ayodhya, they stay for many years in Ayodhya till the age of 24, around 24, 25. Sri Ram, they stay in Ayodhya. And around this time happens the whole episode of Mother Kaikai, and she says that Bharat needs to become the king, and this was just the day before the Pattabhishek of Sri Ram, and Dasharath Maharaj was unable to handle this. He said no, but he had already given a boon to Kaikai, so he couldn't say no. And after this situation, Dasharath Maharaj agreed because he couldn't say no. And Sri Ram also readily agreed. He said, yeah, I completely understand. And he did not, even for one moment, he did not question that why this, why that. But tomorrow is Pattabhishek. Why are you doing this to me? Huh? But we would have questioned, no? Obviously. But not Sri Ram. Sri Ram did not question. But Lakshmana was very angry because he thought this is very unfair. How can you do this? Very unfair. So Lakshmana, he rejected Mother Kaikai. He said, I will not consider you my mother anymore. I reject you. But in any case, Sri Ram, he, along with Sita Devi did not want to come. Sorry, Lord Ram did not want Sita Devi to come. But Sita Devi agreed. She said, no, I want to come. I want to join you in the forest. फिर तीनों चले गए. जब हम ये देखते हैं सीरियल्स देखते हैं तो हम लोग देखते हैं कि सीता देवी सैफरन रोब्स में है, वेरी सिंपल क्लोथ्स, बट एक्चुअली सीता देवी शी हैड ज्वेलरी, शी वाज वेयरिंग सिल्क और ज्वेलरी, बिकॉज दिस वाज व्हाट दशरथ महाराज हैड सेड. ही सेड द वनवास इज फॉर श्री राम, why should my daughter-in-law suffer? So she's anyway going to the forest. Lekin, I want her to wear silk robes. I want her to wear jewelry. So he told Lakshman, carry all the jewelry for her. Let her dress up very nicely. So she was always dressed very nicely. But serials mein dikhate hain ki she's wearing saffron or like that. But she was actually wearing nice, solitaire uh, chain, and what is it, Tanishq se ye wo. She was wearing a lot. So they went to the forest. ठीक है. And at this time भरत महाराज भी आ गए वहां पे, और भरत महाराज ने he also rejected Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi को उन्होंने भी reject किया, his own mother, and he said that I will not consider you my mother anymore. I reject you. And Kaikeyi was heartbroken. She said, but I did this for you. तुम्हारे लिए ये सब किया. Tomorrow can be your Pattabhishek. You are going to be the king. And Bharat Maharaj has rejected it. And Bharat Maharaj said, I will go and bring back Sri Ram. He cannot say no to me. तो वो भी गए फॉरेस्ट के अंदर, और he met Sri Ram. And at that time, after he meeting Sri Ram, Lord Ram disagreed and he said, no, I have to go for 14 years. You be the king. Bharat Maharaj said, no, you will always be the king. और उस टाइम पे he took Bharat Maharaj took Sri Ram's padukas on his head. He put the padukas on the singhasana, and he said, you will always be the king and I will always be your servant. But we don't hear much about Bharat and Shatrugna, but actually they are extremely great personalities. भरत का मतलब क्या है? भरत का मतलब है भारत नाम पड़ा भरत महाराज की वजह से, लेकिन भरत मतलब अ, जो भार उठाता है, भार, भरत, someone who carries a burden, that is Bharat. So he was carrying the burden of love, but it was a very painful love for him. Why was it painful? क्योंकि अयोध्या वासी बहुत मतलब श्री राम से इतना वो प्यार करते थे कि दे जस्ट हेटेड भरत. दे थॉट भरत की वजह से ये सब हुआ है. They thought this is the politics of Bharat. So all the Ayodhya Vasis hated him so much that if they see Bharat, they used to take a stone and throw it on him. So what did Bharat do? Bharat thought जब भी भगवान राम किसी बेड पे सोते थे, भरत जमीन पे सोते थे. Because he always thought I should be on a lower level than Sri Ram. But now Sri Ram is sleeping on the floor. So Bharat, outside of Ayodhya, how many of you have been to Ayodhya? So if you haven't been, you should go to Ayodhya. So in the outskirts of Ayodhya, you have a place where Bharat Maharaj used to stay. So Bharat Maharaj ने एक गड्ढा खोद के, गड्ढा बोलते हैं ना पिट को, तो गड्ढा खोद के he was sleeping in that because he said if my Shri Ram जमीन पे अगर सो रहे हैं तो मैं उससे भी नीचे सोऊंगा. So he made a pit and he used to sleep outside, but outside in the outskirts of Ayodhya. और सुबह जल्दी जाते थे स्नान करने के लिए सरयू नदी में 2 बजे, क्योंकि 4 बजे सारे अयोध्या वासी आते. एंड ही यूज्ड टू थिंक दैट सभी मुझे देखेंगे, उनको बुरा लगेगा, तो आई आई विल जस्ट टेक बात अर्ली एंड मैं निकल जाऊंगा वहां से. तो रोज ऐसे ही करते, क्योंकि अगर कोई भरत महाराज को देते देखते तो पत्थर फेंकते उनके ऊपर. तो दिस वाज भारत, वेरी ग्रेट पर्सनैलिटी. एंड उन्होंने श्री राम को बोला कि इफ यू आर डिलेड बाय इवन वन डे और वन मोमेंट आफ्टर 14 years, मैं अग्नि स्नान कर लूंगा. आई विल एंटर अग्नि. I will kill myself, even if you're 1 moment late after 14 years. So Bharat Maharaj is an extraordinary personality. Unfortunately, we don't hear much about him. Then what about Shatrughna? What is the meaning of the word Shatrughna? हाँ, जो दुश्मनों का नाश करे. लेकिन अगर हम पूरा रामायण देखें तो भरत महाराज ने भी बहुत सारे युद्ध लड़े, लक्ष्मण ने लड़े, और श्री राम ने तो बहुत सारे असुरों को ये किया. लेकिन शत्रुघ्न ने सिर्फ एक ही असुर या दानव को ये किया था. क्या किया था? सॉरी. हाँ. तो तो फिर उनका नाम शत्रुघ्न क्यों है? क्योंकि शत्रुघ्न, he was fighting his inner demons. अपने अंदर के असुरों को उन्होंने नाश किया था, इसीलिए उनका नाम था शत्रुघ्न. He was a very powerful sadhu Maharaj. So this king Shatrugn, why was he greater than Bharat Maharaj? Because Bharat Maharaj was on the outskirts of Ayodhya. Shatrugna was inside Ayodhya because somebody had to run the kingdom. So he said, Bharat Maharaj now is representing Sri Ram. I am representing Bharat Maharaj. So people used to spit at him. People used to throw something at him. But he used to come, he used to run the kingdom perfectly, despite all of that. He never fought back. He never hated any of the Ayodhya Vasis. He said that all of you are hating me because of your love for Sri Ram. And I accept that. I would probably do that also. But I completely accept, if you hate me, I accept that. But it is my duty to Sri Ram, it is my duty to Bharat Maharaj that I have to run this kingdom. Amazing, huh? This is Shatrughna. Never complained. He continued to do his duty and he dealt with this for 14 years. If Bharat Maharaj is great, imagine how great Shatrughna is. Outstanding personalities, all four of them. So, this is somewhere towards the end of Ayodhya Kand, and now begins Aranya Kand. Aranya, many things happened Aranya Kand mein, or one of the very popular things is um, Guha. Heard of Guha? And there was a um, ट्राइबल किंग, उनका नाम था गुहा. ही वाज अ बोटमैन. तो उन्होंने गुहा का हेल्प लिया और सरयू नदी उन्होंने क्रॉस किया, पार किया. ही वेंट टू द अदर साइड. देन दे लिव्ड इन अ फॉरेस्ट. फॉरेस्ट का नाम था चित्रकूट. चित्रकूट सुना है? चित्रकूट। तो चित्रकूट गए और चित्रकूट में उन्होंने अपना एक कुटिया बनाया और they were staying there, they were living there. चित्रकूट is very beautiful. It is beautiful even today. If you go to चित्रकूट, बहुत ही सुंदर जगह है। तो चित्रकूट, after he went there to चित्रकूट, there was one incident. Many things happened, but one incident was that there was another lady who got attracted to Sri Ram. Hmm. शूर्पणखा। Hmm? शूर्पणखा का मतलब क्या है? नखा, नखा, nails, शूर्प, कार। So she was, क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में, डायन, ये वो कुछ बोलते हैं ना। हाँ, so she was a चुड़ैल type का, so she was like that, so she had sharp nails. She had sharp nails, शूर्पणखा, शूर्पणखा. She was very scary to look at, and she was, it is said that she was very asabhya. Asabhya matlab very indecent, and her language was terrible language, completely opposite to Sita Devi, who was so sabhya, soft words. So this lady from far, she saw Sri Ram. Oh, so handsome. She has never seen anybody like Sri Ram. And she she was about to approach Ram. Then she thought, he's so handsome. Look at me. But she's a sister of Ravan. She had a lot of siddhis also. So she changed herself to look very beautiful. Now she looked like an apsara. She made herself very beautiful. And then she, no, you can also, like today also they do a lot of things, no, Botox, ye wo. So in those days, now we don't have siddhis, so we do use a lot of things. Those days they didn't need Botox because they had siddhis and all of that. So she also did a siddhi Botox. She looked very good and she approached Sri Ram. Or she she proposed to Sri Ram. She said, "Why are you living in this small kutia? Come to my kingdom. I have silk robes and I'll dress you up in silk. What is this? You're so handsome. You don't belong here." And Sri Ram was shocked. Who's this lady from the forest suddenly? And Sri Ram said, "No, I have a wife already." And Sita Devi was inside the kutia. So she was not there at that particular time. And he said, "But I'm married, but there's this other guy, he's very handsome." So he pointed him to Lakshman. Lakshman was, "Yeah, okay, what did I do?" So she said, "Oh, he's also very handsome." So Lakshman said, "But I'm the second best. Uh, I don't think you want to settle with the second best." So again, she changed her mind. So this is the mind of somebody who is asabhya, cannot be fixed in one particular place. So she again moved. Yeah, right. I want the very best. So she said, "I want you." Shri Ram said, "Take it easy. I'm married." And that time, Sita Devi comes and she says, because of her, and he says, "That is my wife, Mrs. Ram." So she, at that particular time, she couldn't contain herself. Her Apsara form went away and her Asuri form came out. And she said, "I'm going to eat her," because they were cannibals. They would eat human beings. So she said, "I'm going to eat this lady. She's the problem, right? I will eat her, and after that, you will have no obstacles. Then both of us can live happily." And even before she could finish her sentence, Lakshman, he took his arrow and he shot it at the nose of Shurpanakha, and her nose was chopped. And this happened in which place? Nasik. Hmm. So, Nasik in Maharashtra, right? Her nose was chopped off, and then she goes back and she meets Ravan. Now, a devotee of Sri Ram is never manipulative, but Shurpanakha was so manipulative. So, Shurpanakha ने क्या बोला रावण को कि I was there और वहां पे एक सुंदरी है सीता देवी, and she's with some balak, some boys, but she doesn't belong to him. She belongs to you because you are so handsome, Ravan. You should go meet her. This is manipulation. You know how she manipulates? So, whenever you meet somebody who's manipulative, you should know that is a quality of Shurpanakha. Even if it is within us, we also may have a little bit of Shurpanakha within us. Manipulation. So, she manipulated Ravan because Ravan was initially not interested. He said, my nose and all that. He said, yeah, okay, you would have done something, your nose got chopped. He was not interested. So, then she manipulated him so that he can go there. So, um, this is when Ravan sends a deer, and this deer's name is Maricha. So Maricha goes there, and Maricha was, in fact, he was an ex-demon. He was earlier a demon, but then he decided, I am going to retire and I'm only going to meditate. So he was in deep meditation. So Ravan ne jaake unko bola, because he had the siddhi of changing forms. So he told, take a form of a deer, go and see who these Ram and all that, because I want that Sita. So Maricha says, no, no, I've retired. I cannot do this. So then he said, then I'm going to kill you. And Maricha had to do a quick calculation. Anyway, I'm going to die. If I go there, Sri Ram will kill me. If I stay here, Ravan will kill me. If I'm anyway going to die, I might as well die from the hands of Sri Ram. So let me go there anyway. So Maricha goes as a golden deer, not as an ordinary deer. So beautiful. His ears were moving just like the wind. Whenever the wind was moving, his ears also would move. And his skin was golden. And it said that his stomach was the color of conch. It was white. So beautiful. And Sita Devi saw this. Sita Devi also was a young girl and she saw this and she said, such a beautiful deer. And remember that this was almost towards the end of the Vanvas time. It was almost about 13 years or so. So this was towards the end. So Sita Devi had planned, if we can get that deer, हम लोग उस हिरण को अयोध्या लेके जाएंगे और वो वहां पे रहेगा and it's so beautiful. This was her plan. So she told Sri Ram, please go and get it. And Sri Ram and Lakshman, both of them were suspicious. And Lakshman immediately he looked at that deer and he told Sri Ram, don't go. That's not a deer. That's a demon. Sri Ram said, if it's a demon, I'll kill it. Uh, but if it's a deer, then I'll bring it back. So Lakshman said, okay. But he told Lakshman, you stay here. फिर उसके बाद राम जी गए. He chased and he chased from Nasik. He ran to Karnataka. There is a place called Shimoga. You've heard of Shimoga in Karnataka? So imagine the speed of Sri Ram. Sri Ram ran from Nasik to Shimoga in Karnataka, chasing this deer. And the moment he shot an arrow, he knew this was a demon because he was running very fast. A deer cannot run that fast. And Sriram could run faster than any deer. He was running so fast. And Sriram was so tall. You know how tall Sriram was? 14. 14 feet tall. Right? Ah, yeah. he, uh, he, he may have to bend and come here. So, Sriram. How much is this? Yeah, maybe 10. So, Sriram was 14 feet tall. So 14 feet tall, and he used to run so fast. So he killed this Maricha, but before dying, what did Maricha do? He took the no, he called Lakshmana because he took the voice of Sri Ram and he mimicked the voice of Sri Ram and he said, "Hey Lakshmana, hey Sita, please protect me. This demon is attacking me." So Lakshmana heard that. He immediately realized, "Nah, it's not Sri Ram. Nothing can happen to Sri Ram." But Sita Devi was very disturbed. She said, please go immediately. Anyway, she forced Lakshmana to go, and then Lakshmana goes. He says he doesn't need me, but if you're forcing me, I will go. At this time, generally they say he threw a Lakshman Rekha, but that did not really happen. So that later on it happened. But he did not, there was no Lakshman Rekha. In fact, Lakshman, he prayed to the Devatas. And he prayed to all the Devatas and he said, Devatas and all the Vana Devatas also, all of you please protect Sita Devi because I cannot be here. I have to go look for Sri Ram. So you please protect her. And then they go away. He goes away looking for Sri Ram. Now Ravan comes. All of you know what happened. There's another incident that happens, which I will connect a little later on. So Ravana, he kidnaps Sita Devi. Sri Ram meets Lakshman. He scolds Lakshman. There he gets scolded by Sita Devi. Here he gets scolded by Lord Ram. And I give you one job and you couldn't do it properly. Imagine for 14 years, Lakshmana, he did not sleep for 14 years. And certain acharyas explain that he passed on his nidra to his wife, hmm, Urmila Devi. And Urmila Devi, one may think that Urmila Devi, a nice job, you can just sleep and all. But they were also married. They were also a young couple. But she did not, he did not allow her to come to the forest. She also, just like Sita Devi, Urmila also wanted to come to the forest. Why will she not want to come? But Lakshmana said no. He said, if you come, I will have to take care of you also. And I may not be able to focus on Sita Ram. So please let me focus on them. And as a service to Sita and Ram, she said, I will stay away from you. All of them are glorious personalities. So Urmila also stayed back at home and she took some of the Nidra. So it's not like she was sleeping for 24 hours. She was sleeping for about 10 or 11 hours a day. She was sleeping her share and she was sleeping Lakshmana's share. They were not sleeping like people of this time, 10 hours, yawning and all that. They would sleep very less. So she slept a little bit of her share and a little bit of Lakshmana's share. But Lakshmana would he stayed awake for 14 years. He is the one who's building all the huts. He's collecting all the roots, fruits. And when Sita and Rama are sleeping inside the hut, he would sit on top of the hut with his bow and arrow, seeing if any animals are coming, any asura is coming. This was Lakshmana. After 13 years of this service, Sita Devi scolds him, and Sri Ram also scolds him that you couldn't do one job properly. But he did not complain. He said, I'm useless. He just accepted I'm useless. Imagine any of us serving Krishna in so many ways. If somebody tells us one thing, scolds us even once, we bring out our ego, which is taller than 14 feet, and we will project it in front of others. And we'll say that, how dare you speak to me like this? Who are you to speak to me like this? Right? So a devotee is not only with clothes and tilak, and this doesn't make a devotee. Internal qualities is what really matters. And this is what Lakshmana showed to us. Amazing personality, Lakshmana. So Sita Devi was kidnapped. Now this was the end of Aranya Kanda. And now comes, they walk down south. They come to Karnataka, to Kishkinda. Kishkinda, today it is known as Hampi. Right? And if you go to the northern part of Karnataka, you have Hampi. How many of you have been to Hampi? Hampi. So Hampi, this is where Kishkinda. This was the fort in the mountains of Maharaj Sugriva. Sugriva was staying there. Hmm? So when these two princes, two handsome men, they were walking, Lakshmana and Sri Ram, Sugriva, he saw them from far and he said, who's this? And he said, no. I think Vali has sent them because he had a problem. No, Vali issue was going on. He said, I think Vali has sent two fighters to come and fight me because Vali cannot come to that place because there was a curse on that mountain. If Vali comes, he would die. So Vali couldn't enter there. So he said, Vali has sent these two. So then Sugriva tells his commander in chief, go and check who's that. And who's this commander in chief? Bajrangbali, Hanumanji. Hmm? So Hanumanji, he saw both of them. Hanumanji changed his form and to look like a Brahmana. And he approached Ramji and he approached Lakshmana. I'll tell you something about Sri Ram before that. Qualities of Sri Ram. It's connected to this. 3 points. Sri Ram is known as Purva Bhashi. One of his qualities is Purva Bhashi. Purva Bhashi का मतलब क्या है? पहले हाँ नहीं 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 पूर्व भाषी का मतलब ये है he is the first one to speak. सबसे पहले वो बात करते हैं. मतलब in what context? Sometimes we do that. Somebody is coming from the opposite side और हम लोग सोचते हैं उसे हेलो बोलने दो पहले. हम लोग इधर-उधर देखते हैं. तो फिर बोलते हैं, "ओह! हेलो, हाउ आर यू?" अच्छा, "ओह! हेलो, हाउ आर यू?" वी डू दैट ना, ड्रामा करते हैं हम लोग. तो दिस इज़ एक्चुअली पूर्वभाषी. पूर्वभाषी मतलब Sri Ram would never have that ego. He sees anybody, he'll be the first one. "How are you? Nice to see you." So nice, huh? Bhagwan Ram, he never had that ego. So that's why he's called Purvabhashi. This is why all of us also have to follow these qualities of Lord Ram. Don't wait for somebody else to wish you. You wish them first. Sri Ram was a prince of Ayodhya, but he did not care. Somebody is poor, somebody is this, somebody is that. He would always wish first, even if they haven't seen him. If they've seen him, they're looking somewhere else. He would say, "How are you? Nice to see you." And they would feel embarrassed that Sri Ram, we are fine. So he was like that. Purva Bhashi. Madhura Bhashi. Second quality. Madhura Bhashi is sweet, very courteous, never harsh in his speech. Just like honey, so sweet, Sri Ram. And the third one, Mithabhashi. Mithabhashi means concise, right? No long, how are you? Oh, my life is so many things are going on, a long story, no. Short speech, Mithabhashi. So he was Purvabhashi, he was Madhurbhashi, and Mithabhashi. So he had these qualities. Now, why am I telling this? Because Bhagwan Ram, सबसे पहले भगवान राम बात करते थे. Wherever he goes, with whomever he meets. But not this time. This time, when Hanumanji comes, and Hanumanji, he sees Sri Ram, and he comes in the form of a Brahmana, in a different form. And Hanumanji comes and he sees Lakshmana and he sees Sri Ram. And the moment he sees Sri Ram, he knows that this is my Lord. Life after life, this is my Lord. And he couldn't maintain that Brahmana form anymore. His Vanara form just came out immediately. And he didn't realize. And he looks at himself and Sri Ram saw him. And Sri Ram is looking at Hanumanji. Hanumanji is looking at Sri Ram. And Lakshmana immediately he comes forward. He says, "Who's this? Is this some kind of an asura?" And usually Sri Ram, who's always first to speak, Sri Ram couldn't speak for the first time. Sri Ram couldn't speak because Hanumanji started speaking. And Hanumanji is so soft and so amazing in his speech. He is so knowledgeable. The choicest Narayana, Vishnu is known as Uttama Shloka, one who is glorified with the greatest of words. So immediately he started glorifying Lord Ram and speaking to him in such beautiful sentences. Sri Ram couldn't speak. He said, "Oh, so nice." So Sri Ram asks, "Who are you?" And very softly, Sri Ram asks him, "Who are you?" So Sugriva, Hanumanji, he says that, "I am Sugriva Duta, Hanuman." Sri Ram, who was smiling till then, Sri Ram stopped smiling. And Sri Ram took a step behind. And he told Lakshman, "You talk to him." And Hanumanji immediately realized that something is wrong. He said, "My Sri Ram, who was smiling and looking at me so long, suddenly he has become serious and he stepped away from me." Hanumanji's heart broke. And Lakshmana stood in front of him, between him and Sri Ram. And he said, "Okay, please introduce yourself." He says, I'm Hanuman." And immediately Hanumanji went down on his knees. He became very morose. Phir Lakshmana, uh, Lakshmana said, "I will introduce myself." Lakshmana introduced himself. And he said that this is Dasharath Nandan, Sri Ram. So he is the king of Ayodhya. And I am nobody. Lakshmana introduces himself. He says, "I'm nobody. I have no other identity except for Sri Ram. I am the servant of Sri Ram." Immediately, Hanumanji realizes what happened. Because he said, "I'm Sugriva Duta," a devotee is possessive of Bhagwan. Bhagwan is possessive of his devotee also. Sri Ram did not like that he said he's Sugriva Duta. Immediately, Hanumanji realized that his eternal position is Ramaduta. He's not Sugriva Duta. He's not anybody else's Duta. He's Ramaduta. But he did not want to bring it out at that particular point. He didn't want to embarrass Sri Ram at that particular point. But henceforth, whenever Hanumanji introduced himself, wherever, even in front of Ravan, when Ravan would ask, Monkey, who are you? He would say, Ramaduta Hanuman. So, a little tip for you. Hanumanji has many names, Anjaneya, Maruti, so many names. But if you want to get the attention of Hanumanji, whenever you go to a temple of Hanumanji, you refer to him as Rama Bhakta Hanuman or Ramaduta Hanuman. Within the entire crowd, he will pay attention to you because you'll immediately get his attention because that's his favorite name. Hmm. So later on, he takes introduces him to Sugriva, and Sugriva speaks to him. Sugriva makes a promise that you kill Vali, I will help you in finding Sita Devi. So he says, okay, Vali was killed. All of you know that episode, so I'm not going to elaborate on that. Vali was killed, and Sugriva said, now I will help you. But it is rainy season. Huh? We'll wait for some time. Where to go in the rain and all that? Chaturmas during that time, 4 months of rain. So he said, rainy season, we'll just wait till the rain is over. After that, we can search. Shriram said, okay. But Shriram was thinking, she's alone there. Uh, I don't know what she is doing. And he was worried. And Sugriva now got the kingdom of Vali. And now he started enjoying his life. And he was saying, no, no, I will serve. Yeah, we have to serve. Jai Shri Ram. But we'll also enjoy life a little bit. So he started enjoying his life a little bit. Uh, he got some new queens. He started enjoying 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. The rain stopped, but Sugriva never stopped. He continued to enjoy his life. So Sri Ram normally never threatens anybody. But he told Lakshmana at that time, go and meet Sugriva and tell him the doors that I opened for Vali, the doors are still open. He just made that statement. And Lakshmana was just waiting for a moment like this. He said, I will go immediately. So immediately he goes and he tells Sugriva that the doors that were open for Vali are still open, Sugriva. And Sri Ram is waiting to send you there. Sugriva immediately he woke up. He said, no, I was making preparations. Why are you getting angry? I will come immediately. So Sugriva got his entire army and he begs for forgiveness from Sri Ram. And we should not misunderstand Sugriva. All of them are playing different roles to tell us what a devotee should behave like. So sometimes they may play certain negative roles in a certain way to show us what the qualities of a devotee are. So he showed those qualities. And what do we learn from this? That sometimes in the name of serving Sri Ram, we may actually be serving ourselves. Different kinds of sense gratification. We look for ego, puja, labha, pratishta. People need to glorify me. I'm the king. Sri Ram can wait. It's okay. He can wait. So what? Nothing is urgent. So this is the quality that Sugriva showed. And through that, Sugriva is instructing us that we should not behave in that way. Because Adi Guru will get angry. Who's Adi Guru? Lakshmana. So Sugriva comes, then the entire episode happens. Kishkinda Kanda. Now they cross the Indian Ocean. Hmm? They cross the Indian Ocean and they go to the other side. Now, this is the end of Kishkinda Kand. Now comes Sundarakanda. Right? So, Sundarakanda, why is it called? Sorry, they have not crossed the ocean yet. This is when Hanumanji he jumps from one side to the other. Now, why is it called Sundarakanda?
He's talking with Sita is
That's why Sundarakanda. Okay, that is true. I will ask you another question about Hanumanji. What is the name of Hanumanji? Hanuman, that's his name. Ramaduta. Is there any other name of Hanuman? Pavan Putra, Anjaneya. And then what is the meaning of the word Hanuman? Hmm? Hanuman. Hanu means chin. So when he was a child, Indra had attacked him with his Vajra and he broke his chin. After that, he was called as Hanuman. So mother will not name a child broken chin, broken hand, broken leg, that. So that name came later on after this incident. But his mother gave him a name because Hanumanji was so beautiful to look at. His name was Sundara. So Hanumanji's original name, birth name, was Sundara because he is so beautiful. He is beautiful even as a baby when he was crying or he was giggling. There was nobody like him. He was so beautiful. Even as he grew up, his speech was so beautiful. His behavior is so beautiful. That is why his name is Sundara. And this Kanda is called Sundara Kanda because the beautiful Sri Ram was connected to the beautiful Sita Devi by the beautiful Hanumanji. It's an entirely beautiful episode. That is why it is called Sundara Kanda. So this is Hanumanji. He crosses the ocean and he goes to the other side. Lots of things happen in between, but I'm cutting it short. Hanumanji goes there, and Hanumanji, he sits on a tree, on a branch, and he's observing. And he's just about to step in front of Sita Devi. He hears somebody coming, and he hears that Ravana is there. And Ravana comes, and Ravana says, "When are you going to become my wife? That Sri Ram, that child, is there. I'll kill him anytime. I've killed many people. He is nothing in front of me. You tell me, when will you become my wife?" And Sita Devi is not even looking at it. And Ravana was speaking in Sanskrit. That was the spoken official language at that time. So he was speaking in Sanskrit, and Sita Devi was not even responding to him. Some people say you'll find many fans of Ravan even today. They will say he's such a gentleman. He never forced himself on Sita Devi. He could have, but he never forced himself on Sita Devi. Is that true? No. Not at all. He's a Asura, and he had a curse because he had touched another lady. He had touched many ladies before. There was one lady who was a yogini called Vedavati. So he touches her, and at this particular point, she curses him that in the future, if you ever touch any other woman without her consent, your head will explode and you will die immediately. It's because of this curse that he stayed away from Sita Devi. Okay, so it's not that he's a gentleman, unlike some fools who claim that these days. Anyway, so this was Ravana. So Ravana goes away. Now Hanumanji, he speaks very fluent Sanskrit. Um, he's thinking, let me just jump down and speak, but if I jump down, she's going to think I'm a uh, from Ravana's party. I'm an Asura, and if I speak in Sanskrit, just like Ravana, she'll think I'm also that. So he spoke in a different language. Just like in Vrindavan, they speak Sanskrit, but there is also Braj Bhasha. So there's another language called Avadhi, right? Avadhi. That's the language, the local language in Ayodhya, right? Avadh ke Ram, they say. So Avadhi is the local language. So Hanumanji could speak that language also. Hmm. So he spoke in Avadhi, but then he appeared in front of, he took a smaller form, not a large form, small form, and he came in front. So he's not threatening. And he spoke to Sita Devi and he said, she said, "Who are you?" She stayed away from him. And he started glorifying Sri Ram. And she said, "Many people, Asuras are tricksters. You also are tricking me. Um, Tell me what Sri Ram looks like." Here, Hanumanji explains the beauty of Sri Ram. Nobody else can explain the beauty of Sri Ram the way Hanumanji did. So if you ever go to Valmiki Ramayana and you read, people may think of Sri Ram in different ways, but the form of Sri Ram is explained so beautifully by Hanumanji. Many things are there. It is said that Sri Ram's body was in such a way that his arms, his legs, his torso, his neck, his face was so perfect in every way. His shoulder was so perfect in every way. You couldn't find any fault in his body. He was amazing to look at. And it is said that Sri Ram, when he slept, he never needed a pillow because his arms were so big. He used to sleep like that. So for the young people who go to gyms and all that, you can think of Sri Ram if you're ever going there. So Sri Ram, his body was like that, broad chest, and it is said that when Sri Ram used to walk, it used to be uh, like the pride of an elephant. He used to walk like that. Hmm. Amazing Sri Ram. He also reminded Sri Ram of, sorry, Sita Devi of an incident that happened in Balakanda. In Balakanda, how he meets
Go.
a lady called the wife of Gautama Rishi. Anybody knows? Ahalya. So, you know the entire incident of Ahalya. So, Ahalya, there was Indra who got attracted to Ahalya, who was already a wife of Gautama Rishi. So, this Indra, he took the form of Gautama Rishi when Gautama Rishi was not there, and he physically got intimate with her, and she thought that's the husband. And later on Gautama Rishi enters, and obviously someone like Ahalya was so embarrassed by this situation, and Gautama Rishi couldn't make eye contact with his own wife, obviously, right? It was very disturbing, and he curses Indra. That's an entire episode. Then Indra goes away. So Ahalya asks, I don't know what to do, what should I do? He said, never show me your face again, and go and meditate, go to the forest and meditate. So someone says, some versions say that he cursed her to become a stone. Actually, he didn't curse her to become a stone. She meditated for so long that her body became like a stone. It became, stiff like a stone. And, mud had built up on her body and all of that. Sri Ram, the young 12-year-old Sri Ram, when he was with Vishwamitra, he comes and he asks Vishwamitra, what is this stone? Looks very unique. Vishwamitra explains this entire incident that happened many years ago. And Sri Ram touches that stone, and immediately that stone melts, and Ahalya comes out of that. And he speaks to Ahalya and he says, Mother, what happened to you? And she explains. And then Sri Ram says, don't worry, can I meet Gautama Rishi? And he meets Gautama Rishi and he explains to Gautama Rishi. Gautama Rishi immediately knows who this is. He says, this is Narayan. My Lord is here as a 12-year-old boy, so handsome to look at, carrying his bow along with Vishwamitra. So he um, he explains to her that you know the meaning of the word Ahalya. What is the meaning of the word Ahalya? Ahalya, hala means what? Hala, like plow, hal, hal khinchna, plow. So Ahalya, there is nothing else for her to plow in her heart. She has gone so deep in her own finding her own faults, finding her own mistakes. She has found that where she was wrong in so many ways, there was nothing else to know the depths that she can reach. Ahalya, nothing else to plow in her heart. That is why she is Ahalya. So Sri Ram says, I give you my assurance that she is pure. And there's nobody as pure as Ahalya. And with this, first, the first universe's first marriage counseling happened by Sri Ram. So Sri Ram did the first marriage counseling, and Gautama Rishi also tears in his eyes because he knows how pure she was. But because it was such a disturbing incident, so both of them they forgave each other, and both of them started living like a dampati once again together. And this was because of Sri Ram. So when Hanumanji explained this to Sita Devi, she had tears in her eyes, and she said, uh, "You truly are Ramaduta, and I understand now." Then she tells him that you please go and tell Sri Ram that there is no way I can step out of Lanka. I'm captured here, and it looks like I'm going to die here. But you please tell Sri Ram that let him get married again. He will definitely find another princess, somebody who will take care of him. Because I used to cook for him very nicely. Now I don't know what he will eat. So you please tell him, ask him to get married again. And Hanumanji then explains that he hardly even breathes without you. Without you, he hardly even breathes. He cries whenever he thinks of you. He cries, which means he cries all the time because he's always thinking of you. So that is why Sri Ram is Ekapatni Vrata. There's nobody else for Sri Ram but Sita Devi. So she said, but it's impossible to get out from this place. So Hanumanji says who? I'm here. So Hanumanji, he says, Mother, you can sit on my shoulder and I will take you immediately. I'll cross the ocean. So Sita Devi laughs. She says, but you're a little monkey because Hanumanji was only this much. So Hanumanji says, oh, okay. So I'll show you. Boom. And he increased his size and he became huge. And Sita Devi said, oh, hold on. Somebody will see you. Reduce, reduce, reduce. So he says, I can increase my height how much ever I want. I can just carry you in one jump. I will go there and you will be with Sri Ram. But she refused. She said, I know you can do it. And I'm confident of your strength, but I will still not come with you. Because if he is here, if Sri Ram has come, then it's my husband's duty to come and protect. So let him come. This is the duty of the hero, the original hero. So she said, tell the hero that I'm waiting. I'm waiting here for it. Hanumanji was so happy. He said, I'll do that. But Hanumanji decided to teach Ravana a lesson. And then he goes and he meets Ravana and he sets the whole Lanka on fire and all of that. After that, he comes back and Yuddha Kanda. Okay, this was the end of Sundara Kanda. Yuddha Kanda starts and no, thank you. So Yuddha Kanda starts and all of you know I did not elaborate too much, but many things happened here. Lord Kumbhakarna comes and Ravana comes and many people. Ravana's son was the greatest fighter. What was his name? Yeah, Indrajit, Meghnath. His original name is Meghnath, but he was called Indrajit because he had defeated Indra also in fight. He was such a powerful warrior. So he and Lakshmana had a fight, and Lakshmana, Indrajit once he left an arrow called Nagapasha, and that hit Lakshmana. And Lakshmana, sorry, it hit Lakshmana and Sri Ram, and both of them became unconscious. It is impossible to make them unconscious, particularly Lakshmana, because Lakshmana is Ananta himself. He is the greatest snake. So what can happen to him? So he was attacked by Nagapasha, but both of them became unconscious because they wanted to include another devotee. All the service was done by Hanuman, but there was one more devotee who wanted to serve but did not have an opportunity to serve. Who's that devotee? Next to Hanumanji on the other side, Garuda Dev. So Garuda Dev was waiting, and the moment Nagapasha snakes had surrounded Lakshmana and Sri Ram, Garuda Dev appeared there, and just by Garuda Dev's, not even his presence, the sound that comes from his wings. When a bird flies, you hear the sound. When Garuda Dev, just by hearing the sound, the snakes would just left them and went away from there. And both of them came back, Sri Ram and Lakshmana. And Garuda Dev was very happy to serve at that particular point. So whenever you have fear, if anybody has fear of snakes, if you pray to Garuda Dev, Om Vainateyaya Namaha, Om Pakshi Rajaya Namaha, Om Garudaya Namaha. These are different names. So if you just chant, all your fear of snakes will go away. Anyway, so after this, Ravana was killed and Ravana dies and Sita Devi comes back. This is the end of Yuddhakanda. Now the last one is Uttarakanda, right? So Uttarakanda is towards the end, and this Kanda was written later on by Valmiki after the entire incident. That's why I told you all these Kandas are a circle, starts from the end. And so, what did I tell you in the beginning? Sri Ram had sent away Sita Devi to the forest. So he was thinking, why? Why will a perfect person send his wife, a pregnant wife, into the forest? That was a question of Valmiki. So Valmiki gets the answer at this particular point because Sita Devi, one is when she appears, Lakshman, Sri Ram, she appears and she says Sri Ram and she sees Sri Ram and she wants to embrace Sri Ram. But Sri Ram immediately rejects. He says, don't come near me. We see this in serials and this people misunderstand and they say, you say Maryada Purushottam, how can Sri Ram do something like this? Sita Devi was waiting for 1 year and he rejected her. To understand this, you will have to go back to what happened in that hut after Lakshmana, dear Sri Ram went, Lakshmana went, before she got kidnapped by Ravana. Before she got kidnapped by Ravana, Kurma Purana explains this, that Agni Dev, because Lakshmana had told all the Devatas, you please protect Sita Devi because I'm not here. Agni Dev himself appears there. And Agni Dev tells Sita Devi that there's a Rishi outside. That Rishi is not ordinary. That Rishi is Ravana himself. And he's here to kidnap you. So what should I do? So Agni Dev says, you enter me. You enter this Agni. You enter me and I will protect you. But she says, but who's going to go and meet him then? He says, I will create a Chaya Sita. Okay, so a Chaya Sita was created with the same qualities of Sita, but he created another body because she is Narayani, she is Lakshmi. How can Ravana or anybody touch her? Only Narayana can touch her, nobody else can touch her. So, how was she kidnapped, picked up, and gone? Agni created another body, same qualities. So, she was called as Chaya Sita, like a reflection of Sita. So, because she was another woman, in one sense, she was another woman. Sri Ram said, stay away from me. Don't touch, because I'm dedicated only to Sita. So then he said, this is very difficult to understand. So Sri Ram said, prove your purity. How? By entering fire. So the same Agni appears. Chaya Sita enters, and the original Sita walks out. This is what happened. So Sri Ram did not reject her. This entire incident happened. So this Chaya Sita, what is she going to do? She also was there, and she said, "But Sri Ram, I'm thinking of you as my husband, and you have to marry me." Sri Ram said, "No, I'm Ekapatni Vrata. I cannot marry." Then she said, "What should I do?" So Sri Ram said, and this is true for everybody who's unmarried. If you want a good husband, you need to pray to Lord Shiva. So Sri Ram said, "You meditate on Lord Shiva. He will come and he will bless you." So she started meditating on Lord Shiva many, 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 many years because she wanted a perfect husband, just like Sri Ram. Then, after many years of meditation, Lord Shiva appears and Lord Shiva asks, what do you want? She says, Pati Dehi, Pati Dehi, Pati Dehi, Pati Dehi, Pati Dehi. She was so desperate to have a husband that she asked for a husband 5 times. And so Lord Shiva blesses her and says, Tatastu. And she says, you will have 5 husbands. But she said, no, but I want only one husband, like Sri Ram. And he says, there is nobody like Sri Ram. There's nobody like Sri Ram. One person cannot have all the qualities of Sri Ram. So the strength of Sri Ram Bhima will have the strength of Sri Ram. Bow and arrow, there's no archer like Sri Ram. Arjuna will have that. And Dharma, following Dharma, nobody can do it as perfectly as Sri Ram. So Yudhishthira will be there. And nobody as handsome as Nakula, as Sri Ram. Nobody is as handsome. So Nakula is extremely, amongst the Pandavas, he was extremely handsome. And nobody as talented in terms of astrology and studying Shastra, nobody as talented as Sri Ram. So Sahadeva was like that. So these 5 qualities of Sri Ram was there amongst the Pandavas. She said, your time will come. And this is why Draupadi also was born of fire. Remember? So if you read Mahabharata, who was the father of Draupadi? Drupada. Drupada performed a yagya and she comes out of, 2 people come out of the fire, Drishtadyumna and Draupadi. All children of fire. The same Chaya Sita comes back there. Okay, like that. So nice, huh? Connection. Hmm. So this is all this is explained in Uttarakanda. Now this Uttarakanda later on, they go back to the palace and Sita Devi is there. Now what happens is some local people start speaking about Sita Devi because one lady she comes back home, she comes late. So one person says, "Why did you come late? Where are you? Where did you go?" And his wife said, "No, I had some work. I come." So he says, "I'm not Sri Ram to just accept a wife even though she has been out for a very long time." And this news went to Sri Ram. And this was not, now somebody may accuse Ayodhya Vasis and say that they're all devotees, but how can an Ayodhya Vasi speak like that about Sita Devi? The truth is, after Ravana was killed, there were many asuras that entered Ayodhya. and these asuras were living as citizens of Ayodhya. And there were many people who spread this news around that place, and everybody was speaking ill of Sita Devi. They were spreading wrong information and spoiling her reputation in Ayodhya. So Sri Ram, he took the decision after he heard about this, and he told Lakshmana that you take Sita Devi. Many people say she was sent on Vanvas, she was banished. No, she was not banished. She was sent to banished. This is not a forest that she was sent to. She was sent to the ashram of Valmiki. So he told Lakshmana to drop her off at the Valmiki's ashrama and she will be taken care of over there. But why did Sri Ram do this? Because Sri Ram said at that particular point, and Valmiki explains this, that everybody is speaking ill of Sita Devi. But after I do this incident, people will start glorifying Sita Devi and they will start blaming me. They'll start telling bad things about me. For generation after generation, they will say bad things about me that Sri Ram was not a good husband. But Sita Devi was perfect. So to you see what Sri Ram did? He changed that entire incident where people were speaking ill of Sita Devi. And he converted that incident in such a way that people speak ill of him, but they start glorifying Sita Devi. That is what we do even today. We glorify Sita Devi, but we say Sri Ram is wrong in what he did. There cannot be a greater love story than this in this entire universe. It's very important for us to know. This is why Valmiki also asked that question in the beginning, because he wanted all of us to get that answer. He wanted us to understand who Sri Ram really is. So if we don't understand Ramayana from Valmiki Muni, from a sadhu like him, from a true devotee like him, we will always misunderstand Sri Ram. So it's very important that we learn. It can be Ramayana, it can be Mahabharata. It's very important to learn it from the right Guru Parampara. If we reach the wrong people, we will always misunderstand Sri Ram. So don't learn Ramayana and Mahabharata from TV serials. Hmm? They're always wrong, terribly wrong, because most of us have learned from there only. Uh, Even someone who's asabhya, we call them sabhya. Asat Sabha. Kunti Devi says Asat Sabha. Asat Sabha is when these Kauravas were disrobing Draupadi. She says that this is a Asat Sabha. Karna was there. Karna was the one who gave this idea to Duryodhana. And he said that she's married 5 husbands. She's a Vaishya. She's wearing clothes. She doesn't wear clothes. How does it matter? Pull her here. This was the idea of Karna. But Karna is many times glorified. He has some good qualities. But after this particular incident, Krishna, who had some soft corner for Karna, he said he needs to die for this, for making that comment. He lost all his good qualities at that particular point because of the comment that he made. So many times TV serials, they glorify him in a certain way. No? Surya Putra Karna, there's a television serial. Sony Putra Karna, I call it. Because it comes on Sony TV. Right? It's not the original Surya Putra Karna, Sony Putra Karna, we call it. So Karna, he's had some good qualities, nonetheless, certainly. But then he had many negative qualities too. He was a big negative influence on Duryodhana. He would keep propping him up to do a lot of negative things. Anyway, so this brings us to the end. So we've finished all the kandas. Congratulations to all of you for hearing the whole of Ramayana. And my prayers that let Lord Ram influence us, live in our hearts, and let us also have the qualities of Sri Ram. And we should also endeavor to have such qualities of Sri Ram and of Hanumanji, okay, and of Lakshmana, and of Sita Devi, and of Bharata, and of Shatrughna. Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanumanji ki, Ayodhyapati Ramachandra ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Hare Krishna.
तो वही क्वेरी है
हाँ bro.
ये जो रामनवमी ये आती है और एक राम